The curse of Oak Island has haunted humanity for centuries. Different minds have created different speculations, and some of them have even found physical evidence. So today, I am bringing you 3 wildest treasure stories about the island. The curse began to find different backings after the legend of Captain Kidd became a folklore, a notorious pirate who is rumored to have buried treasure on Oak Island. It is said that he placed a curse on the treasure to protect it from being discovered. Fast forward to 2023, June 7th, 2023. The Lagena brothers made a significant discovery in their search for the Oak Island treasure with a new scanning tool called ground-penetrating radar. They were excavating in Smith's Cove, an area of the island believed to be the treasure's location, when they found a large stone slab buried 10 feet under the ground with strange symbols of 1 inch carved into it. The slab weighs around 1,000 pounds and is composed of limestone and about 3 feet broad, 2 feet tall, and 6 inches thick. The Lagena brothers sought professional aid for interpretation because they thought the symbols on the slab had some significance despite being unintelligible. Sadly, thus far, their efforts haven't been fruitful. This is the first significant discovery in the area since they started looking in 2015. The brothers are relentlessly digging in the region in the hopes of finding further leads, since they are persuaded that the slab may contain a hint as to the whereabouts of the riches. Besides the stone slab, they have also discovered several other priceless things at Smith's Cove, including coins, wooden planks, and beams, among other artifacts, over the years. But that's not all. The brothers claim that these discoveries show a sophisticated flood control mechanism was in place to safeguard the jewels, bringing them one step closer to finding the treasure buried on Oak Island. And this time, they go on many different terrain and paths. On June 14th, 2023, the team discovered a broken piece of old metal, adding more confusion in this decade-old treasure hunt. The metal has a diameter of approximately 1 inch and is about ½ inch thick. It is made of a copper alloy and has an illegible raised pattern on one side that shows a face or human form. According to the brothers, this metal object was part of a coin made in the 17th century, which is a significant hint that Oak Island's treasures were hidden there then. Although unclear, the experts think it to be a chunk of money. Who knows? On top of that, they struggle to explain the meaning of the coin's design. This metal chunk is the second most significant discovery in the area, which signifies yet another crucial development in the ongoing search for Oak Island's treasures. The lads continue to scan the environment intently in search of fresh cues. To them, the design appeared as an ambiguous face of a human. The metal item that was unexpectedly found 12 feet below the surface weighs barely 0.5 ounces. Moving on with the discoveries, on June 21st, 2023, the Lagena brothers made another important discovery, an unusual little piece of wood. It was initially built from oak, which has a remarkable texture. According to the Lagena brothers, the wood could have come from a ship buried on Oak Island in the distant past. And this finding in particular is crucial because it adds evidence suggesting a ship buried the wealth on Oak Island, whereas it implies that precious cargo like gold or silver may have been carried by the ship. In an interview, the crew members said the piece of wood was discovered 15 feet below the ground's surface. Days after days, they were excavating in Smith's Cove on the island, which is supposed to be where the treasure is hidden, when they came upon a little ceramic shard that they believed to be from a jug. The ceramic object is 2 inches in diameter and 0.5 inches thick. It was formed of a substance that mimics clay and has a particular pattern on one side. In the pattern, a flower or plant was observed. The Lagena brothers claim the ceramic piece may have come from a jug used to transport wine or other liquids. This would prove that humans were residing on Oak Island in the 17th century, since it would show where the treasure could be buried. They have made several fascinating discoveries in their search, including several Roman artifacts. A lead sword is among the most important Roman artifacts that the Lagena brothers unearthed. And, to everyone's surprise, Smith's Cove is where the sword was located. The sword is assumed to have been manufactured in Italy and dates to the 1st or 2nd century AD, which is ornamented with several motifs, including a dolphin and a trident, and it is in generally good shape. The pottery fragment is another remarkable Roman artifact that the Lagena brothers unearthed. It was discovered in the island's Money Pit region, and supposed to have been produced in France and dates to the 4th or 5th century AD. On the other hand, it was decorated with symbols, including a cross and a sundial. The brothers discovered several other Roman artifacts on Oak Island beside the lead sword and the piece of pottery. Coins, nails, and jewelry are some of these relics. Some people think that Oak Island was previously visited by Roman explorers because of the existence of these Roman articles. A reality television series called The Curse of Oak Island follows the hunt for riches on Oak Island. The brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, who have been looking for the loot for more than 10 years, are followed throughout the series. The Lagina brothers and their gang continued their hunt for riches on the mysterious island in the most recent episode of The Curse of Oak Island, picking up where the previous one left off. The crew concentrated on the marsh in this episode because it was the location of several intriguing artifacts they had previously discovered, including a lead cross and a stone with the Latin inscription 70 feet below. They were able to locate several abnormalities in the swamp using a range of techniques, including sonar and ground-penetrating radar, which they suspect might represent the remnants of buried buildings. One of the most intriguing oddities is a big rectangular object around 70 feet below the surface. The crew is excited to dig into this to see what they uncover, since they think it may be a treasure box. The crew must not harm what they seek, since the marsh is challenging and dangerous. Eventually, they excavated a tiny area of the item, but could not see what was within. In a later episode, they will have to go back to the swamp to carry on their hunt. Yet, the crew made modest strides on other parts of the island. They started digging a new shaft close to the marsh and continued to drill in the money pit location. The crew made some progress in their hunt for riches, even though they made no significant finds in this episode. They are optimistic that the forthcoming episodes will include something important. As more proof that Oak Island has long been the location of covert operations, or more precisely, clichés, the presence of a nearby treasure, the researchers also discovered traces of earlier human activity. That's not it, though. The real deal was the map they found on the island, which dated back to 1647. It was a French copy, with the labels hatch, valve, and anchor, suggested significant connections. In particular, it suggested that the money may have come from Africa, raising the intrigue around Oak Island. The brothers are convinced this map will point them toward their lost money. The series has followed their journey for over a decade, and it will be interesting to see if they can finally solve the mystery. The story goes that, in 1795, while on an adventure on the island, a group of boys around the age of 13 discovered a dip in the earth. They began digging since they believed it to be a fake hole, and as they dug, they found multiple layers of wood and other things. Yet, a mysterious flood stopped them in their tracks, filling the hole with water and blocking any further excavation. As soon as word of the discovery spread, treasure seekers from all over the world flocked to Oak Island to look for the loot. The Onslow Company, a group of financiers, organized the first orderly excavation of the Money Pit in the year 1803. This specific team was able to dig down to a depth of 90 feet before the flooding, which happened in the pit once more, hampered their attempts. Meanwhile, the excavations were permanently halted in 1909 as the Oak Island Treasure Company went out of business. Since then, several other parties have tried to find the treasure buried on Oak Island, but the riddle of the Money Pit has remained unsolved to this day. Oak Island's mystery never ceases to astound us. But what precisely? Let's find out. John Stemmer supports the official Quest of Oak Island website, where you can read a fascinating article about this region. Laird, the expert, believes the ring of stones they discovered could be the foundation of a circular structure. Interesting, yes? When investigating the structure of Lot 5 in minute detail, concentric rings of stones are visible from approximately 100 feet away from the shore. An insightful contributor by the name of Barbara Kopak made an insightful point. She hypothesized that this structure was a kiln, possibly a lime kiln. Its design resembles an ancient Roman furnace discovered in Europe. It is important to observe that Barbara's experience as an architectural artist enabled her to make this intriguing connection. Its proximity to the shore enhances its attractiveness. John Stemmer and the Quest of Oak Island Facebook page utilized the incredible Muon drone to capture photographs. When considering the likelihood that it is a kiln, exciting possibilities emerge. Barbara Kopach's intriguing observation connects the connections, suggesting that this structure may have been a pipe-making kiln. The possibility that it was used to produce pipes piqued people's interest. Given the rumors of a flood tunnel system and the existence of a hydraulic mechanism, pipes would have been required for elevating and lowering the vault. Historiographically, the location of a kiln is crucial. Typically, they were situated away from communities to avoid disturbing residents with pollution. Lot 5 meets this requirement perfectly. It is also essential to be close to water and fuel sources. Fortunately, Oak Island provides both abundant wood for fuel and simple access to water for dilution of clay. It must be stressed that this is all conjecture, but it is intriguing to consider the possibility that Oak Island structures are related to ancient furnaces. In the slideshow, you can view a variety of kiln structures, including European and Roman-era examples. Are you not in agreement that the similarities are quite striking? Next, we will consider the shape. The notion that it might be a kiln was predominantly prompted by its appearance. Note the manner in which it expands. This may imply that there is more to learn than we are currently aware of. The debris-covered ring is clearly visible in a photograph. Now, this detritus could serve as part of the foundation, similar to the stone wall on Lot 26. Alternately, filling in with detritus could be the result of a construction project on Oak Island. If they had been digging tunnels, they would have needed to dispose of a great quantity of waste, and this area would have been ideal. When examining another image of a Roman kiln, be mindful of how far back it extends. Please take note of the large number of small fragments arranged in long rows to form concentric rings, which resembles what we observe on Oak Island. If this is a kiln, it may resemble this type, and where they are currently excavating may be the primary chamber. Remember how, in one of the most recent episodes of Curse of Oak Island, they made a hollow sound by striking a boulder at the bottom of the hole. They may still be required to reach the firebox area. Those fragments with the hollow sound could be protecting the fireplace after all. Currently, we are still determining how the temporary superstructure was constructed. It could have been built with rocks or something entirely distinct. However, this is not the only event that occurred at Oak Island. Astonished that the entire world. There is still more. Both the stone wall on Lot 26 and the pine tar furnace on Lot 15 contained fragments of charcoal. That indicates the presence of fire. They also discovered a piece of pottery, which provides additional insight into what the object may be. The images depict numerous kiln structures discovered by the University of York throughout Europe. They date back to the Roman era, proving that this technology is not new. Immediately, focus on the kiln on Lot 5. Observing the proximity to the water is intriguing. Regardless, let's dissect this and have some fun. First, visualize the mysterious setting in which we find ourselves. This location may be optimal for a covert operation. What if we told you a kiln could be hidden there? A kiln indeed. Consider alternative applications for this kiln before imagining a group of potters creating exquisite pottery. Our minds are racing and we are thinking about pipelines. Pipes indeed. This excellent hypothesis proposes Oak Island may contain a system of flood tunnels. What is this then? This is supported by evidence such as the valve and the cavity beneath the trapdoor. In this case, things are becoming increasingly intriguing. Perhaps intelligent infrastructure is used to construct the underground tunnels. They may be developing a hydraulic system to control the flow of water. However implausible it may seem, let's experiment with it anyway. It is prudent to use pipelines instead of open tunnels. The island's rugged terrain was only marginally suitable for tunneling. If water were to flow through certain areas, they might erode or collapse. Why then not utilize pipes to maintain a constant flow without endangering a collapse? At this point, things become even more pleasurable. Let's investigate the origins of pottery, my companion. We are discussing a technique that has existed since Roman times. Clay pipes. Before, these pipelines were formed around a wooden structure, but it was difficult to connect them seamlessly. They ingeniously employed the potter's wheel, which originated in ancient Samaria around 3500 BCE. Incredible, right? Nevertheless, there's more. We should talk about glazing. You know, the protective layer that prevents water from permeating clay and causing damage to ceramics. Roman glazing techniques were extraordinarily inventive. They utilized salt, lead and tin, invented later, to create an impregnable, complex covering. At this point, things begin to become somewhat chaotic. A pottery instructor asserts that adding saline or ocean water to clay causes its surface to bloom. The kiln firing process produces a beautiful salt patina. Can you imagine the ancient Romans using ocean water to produce these beautiful orange peel textured pipes? Mind-blowing. Let's discuss the pottery object discovered by Laird on the island. Laird believes it dates from the first half of the 18th century, but who knows? It could, after all, be a conduit. What is it? Though it does not appear to be a conventional straight pipe. Not every conduit needs to be straight. This component may be included in a conduit system with a radius of 12 to 14 inches. What is this then? Similar to the redware discovered on Oak Island, this object was crafted from clay. It could be a piece of the puzzle. Let us introduce you to the Romans once more. They were skilled at installing pipelines. Instead of using a single large conduit, they created these intricate pipelines comprised of numerous smaller pipes. It enabled them to regulate water flow and pressure adequately. A unique archaeological image of a Roman pipe reveals the sophistication and complexity of their systems. What is the future? Oak Island may have had a comparable system. You are in store for one more astounding realization. Are you still familiar with the Great Quadrilateral? Recently, essentials have begun to appear in unexpected places. Additionally, they were discovered at the Israeli castle of Belvoir. Are you serious? These nails, found throughout Notre Dame, date to the 1160s and were used to secure stones together during construction. Discuss prehistoric engineering techniques. Then, what does this signify for Oak Island? Well, it's all speculation. We are merely investigating the options for fun. But here's a wild idea. What if these materials discovered on Oak Island were used in an architectural marvel? They may have been part of an intricate structure that required precise stone binding. What is the future? Everything fits into the Oak Island arrangement. Let's mention the stone wall they discovered before we conclude. Even though it is not a wall in the traditional sense, it resembles a circle of pebbles in that it is filled with trash. What is this then? Underneath it, charcoal was discovered. There is still a great deal of data to locate and integrate. Subscribing to the channel will provide you with access to more blues from the world of mysteries. As we conclude our investigation of Oak Island's secrets, it is important to note that all hypotheses remain speculative. However, the investigation of potential connections between historic hydraulic systems, Roman engineering, and ancient furnaces adds an exciting dimension of intrigue. As the mission continues, more and more Oak Island mysteries are revealed. We will meet you there in a minute if you click on the video links that appear to find out what discoveries by explorers astonished the entire globe. Are you prepared for the greatest discovery in the annals of Oak Island? During final excavations at Oak Island, researchers have made a dreadful discovery. It will transform everything we believed we knew about the enigmatic past of the island. Prepare to uncover the Oak Island mystery that has captivated treasure hunters for centuries. Let's immediately begin the video. Content system. Oak Island has been the site of numerous intriguing discoveries over the years, including fragments of ancient parchment, chunks of rusty iron, and even a stone with intricate engravings. However, we now have some mind-blowing updates regarding the horrifying discovery made during excavation on Oak Island. Join us as we explore the mysteries of Oak Island and unearth the truth about this extraordinary discovery. As soon as the television program The Curse of Oak Island made a horrifying discovery at the bottom of the money pit, the situation rapidly deteriorated. The Oak Island personnel closely monitored the B4C shaft excavation in the money pit region. As the crew approached a depth of approximately 90 feet, they detected abundant traces of silver and gold. The team's astounding discovery sparked intense speculation that they may have discovered the approximate location of the mysterious money pit or stumbled upon a network of tunnels that could lead to a hidden treasure chamber. Despite having reached the most thrilling phase of the excavation, the team remained resolute and unyielding, refusing to give up until the objective was reached. The team's confidence increased when they discovered a 90-foot deep tunnel, which they interpreted as a sign that they were coming closer to the original money pit. They were unfazed by the arduous voyage they had undertaken thus far, fueled by their unwavering conviction that their dogged pursuit was bringing them closer to discovering the legendary secrets concealed deep within the mysterious money pit. Frightful discovery at Oak Island during final excavation has been an exciting journey for those who appreciate witnessing the discovery of historical artifacts. The team had been anxiously awaiting progress in the excavation of the money pit region in the hopes of discovering the elusive treasure that has fascinated generations. Every time they dug, they awaited the next scoop or grasp with bated breath, hoping it would be the breakthrough they had been seeking. As they dug deeper, the team discovered scattered fragments of wood that formed a crucial historical puzzle. Among the dispersed remains, they discovered a large and impressive iron object that appeared to be from a bygone era, perhaps as far back as the 1700s. This fortunate discovery provided a glimmer of optimism, indicating that they were moving closer to their ultimate objective, the legendary money pit. However, their journey to unveil the mysteries concealed beneath the surface of the earth took an unexpected turn. At the approximate 130-foot depth of the B4C shaft, just as they were gaining momentum, they were confronted with a shocking discovery, a formidable bedrock formation impeding their progress. This geological impediment sent shockwaves throughout the team, halting their progress and plunging them into a domain of uncertainty. The team's efforts uncovered evidence of a concealed treasure despite encountering obstacles. They dug 5 enormous shafts over the course of several months and discovered indications of its existence. As they were on the verge of disclosing a long-held secret, these discoveries inspired renewed optimism. However, pursuing the money pit had been an arduous and challenging endeavor for centuries. The quest was fraught with obstacles that required unwavering resolve and originality. Motivated by the possibility of acquiring a priceless treasure that had eluded countless others, the team descended into the money pit in search of the enigmatic treasure. The crew began a difficult mission with the knowledge that obstacles lay ahead. They actively sought out new technologies and strategies to surmount the obstacles. They pursued the treasure with great determination, expecting that their efforts would pay off. However, their journey was not solely motivated by prosperity. Oak Island's search for the money pit had a deeper significance. The exploration was motivated by a desire to uncover the mysterious mysteries that had captivated people for centuries. With each stage, the team delved deeper into Oak Island's complexities, driven by an insatiable desire to uncover its hidden truths. The team's unwavering dedication to resolving Oak Island's mysteries was demonstrated by their unflinching pursuit. Their unyielding determination and tenacity accentuated the noble pursuit of knowledge and discovery, resulting in an enduring tale that will forever be associated with human curiosity. Oak Island has been an enigma for centuries, attracting the attention of treasure hunters, historians, and conspiracy theorists. With each new discovery made by the devoted exploration crew, the allure of the island has grown. Experts were astounded to discover a paved area in the wetland, a peculiar anomaly. In addition, they discovered a 500-year-old stone road, shedding light on the island's ancient history and heightening the mystery encircling its secrets. A mid-15th century rock drill was discovered in the B4C shaft, which was possibly the most astonishing discovery. This artifact has prompted speculation about the island's hidden history and valuable treasures. As Oak Island continues to disclose its secrets, the world eagerly anticipates additional discoveries and the chance to decipher its ancient mysteries. The Lagina brothers and their devoted team embarked on an extraordinary voyage to uncover Oak Island's long-held secrets. Their efforts and breakthroughs brought them closer to the legendary treasure, increasing their confidence that it was within reach. One discovery in particular stood out among their recent discoveries. As they meticulously scrutinized the rock drill discovered in the B4C shaft, a profound realization occurred. This ostensibly unremarkable artifact had the potential to be crucial evidence, leading them directly to the concealed treasure chamber buried beneath the ground. The crew made a remarkable discovery that sparked intense speculation. Through a network of tunnels, they believed they were near to discovering the elusive money pit, or a hidden treasure chamber. Even though they were in the final phase of excavation, the crew remained determined to reach their goal. When they discovered a 90-foot deep tunnel, they believed it was a sign that they were approaching the original money pit. Unfazed by the difficulty of the voyage thus far, they proceeded with the unshakable conviction that they were getting closer to uncovering the mysteries of the money pit. Armed with newly acquired knowledge and an insatiable desire for answers, the Lagena brothers and their companions prepared to delve even deeper, prepared to confront the mysteries that awaited them. Each step drew them closer to uncovering the centuries-old secrets that had been concealed. Their determination was fueled by their unwavering pursuit of the treasure, which had captivated the minds of innumerable explorers before them. The group developed a novel strategy based on their previous findings. They decided to concentrate their efforts on investigating the mysterious, stone-paved area in the swamp because they believed it would provide important clues as to the location of the treasure. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar technology, they scanned the surface of the swamp, revealing anomalies that may indicate the presence of concealed chambers or tunnels. The ground-penetrating radar surveys uncovered a remarkable discovery: a network of interconnected tunnels beneath the swamp. The crew realized that these tunnels may hold the key to unlocking Oak Island's final secrets. The crew was filled with anticipation as they prepared to investigate these underground passages, knowing that they were on the verge of a significant discovery. With their specialized equipment and protective clothing, the team entered the recently unearthed tunnels with courage. The ambiance inside was damp and unsettling, which amplified their feelings of excitement and danger. As they progressed deeper into the complex labyrinth, they discovered shards of tools, signs of human habitation, and cryptic symbols etched into the tunnel walls. Each step brought them closer to the long-awaited revelation. After years of arduous searching, the team uncovered a secret chamber concealed deep within the tunnels. As they cautiously opened the chamber door, they were dumbfounded by what they saw. They stood there in awe as they encountered the ultimate prize they had tirelessly sought. The treasure that had evaded them for what seemed like an eternity suddenly materialized before their eyes. It was an awe-inspiring sight. A collection of dazzling jewels, each glistening in its own brilliant hue. Alongside them were antiquities that told tales of long-vanished civilizations. The containers were brimming with unfathomable riches, including gold and silver that glistened with unrivaled opulence. After years of effort, the Oak Island curse was ultimately resolved. Their perseverance and diligence paid off as they uncovered secrets that had been concealed for centuries. In that moment of victory, they felt a mixture of elation and relief, knowing that their unyielding pursuit had led to the discovery of a lifetime. Click the subscribe button if the video has piqued your interest thus far. The discovery of the treasure on Oak Island was not only a triumph for the Lagena brothers and their team, but also a demonstration of human tenacity and the enduring appeal of adventure. The treasure would provide invaluable historical insights, inspire new discoveries, and captivate the world with tales of intrigue and mystery. On Lot 8, in a recent episode of The Curse on Oak Island, researchers have finally uncovered substantial proof of a metallic anomaly. Marty, Gary, and the other members of the team investigate Lot 8 after finding a large metallic oddity there. They come uncover a number of unique relics, including a garnet brooch and a piece from a bride's horse, which prompts questions about their origins and any connections. Moreover, they discover a piece of beveled iron, which agrees nicely with the results of the most recent magnetometry investigation. This implies that the object was formerly a broken antique cutting tool. This finding suggests that human activity may have existed in a location that was previously believed to be devoid of people. In order to further understand the significance of this significant metallic anomaly evidence on Lot 8, the team made the decision to acquire additional excavation licenses and consult with experts. The discovery raises questions regarding its provenance and any connections it might have to other local findings. The scholars are intrigued by these unique items and believe that this particular area may hold some special significance. A large piece of iron with a beveled edge is discovered by the Oak Island crew. It may be a broken piece of the ancient adze, a type of cutting tool. This result is noteworthy because it agrees with a recent magnetometry research conducted by the team, which found a significant metallic anomaly in the same area, the same site where the survey was done. Our interest in further investigation of that area is piqued by the discovery of this tool in a place that was previously believed to be uninhabited. The team plans to first obtain a permit to excavate before speaking with various experts in order to determine the significance of this discovery. The secrets surrounding Oak Island keep getting more complicated as the show follows the journey of full-time treasure hunters through each new season. However, you might get the same results with your own gear. Their discoveries with metal detectors open up hitherto unfathomable vistas for historical inquiry. Always make sure to get permission before hunting anywhere, whether it's on someone else's land or a public space. The team of The Curse of Oak Island found some scientific proof that suggests it's possible the money pit holds a sizable amount of silver. They also found a patch of cement that had traces of gold and other metals, which made them think that the most rare metal in the world, osmium, would be buried somewhere in the ethereal depths of Oak Island. There is an island called Oak Island in the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. The two brothers Marty and Rick Lagina have, for all intents and purposes, dedicated their entire lives to solving Oak Island's enigma and learning its closely guarded secrets, while harboring the hope of unearthing hidden gold on the island. Despite the fact that they had previously spent many years trying very hard to uncover the island's secrets, but making very little headway in their attempts, it appears that their most recent treasure hunting expedition has really taken a fruitful turn. On Oak Island, the Lagina brothers have made a number of important discoveries recently. Some claim that these discoveries have made it possible to access the hidden wealth on Oak Island. This archaeological gem was found thanks to the use of ground-penetrating radar. It was initially thought to be a crossbow bolt, but a specialist in ancient antiquities thinks it might have been a javelin, a type of weapon used by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago. The team finds a metal object that appears to be what they have been looking for since the first episode of the show in the second episode of the 9th season. Additional inspection reveals that the piece only contains a modest amount of gold in its entirety. The secrets surrounding Oak Island keep getting more complicated as the show follows the journey of full-time treasure hunters through each new season. However, you might get the same results with your own gear. Their discoveries with metal detectors open up hitherto unfathomable vistas for historical inquiry. Always make sure to get permission before hunting anywhere, whether it's on someone else's land or a public space. As the team continued their journey through Portugal, they turned their attention to the country and the Templar Knights, while looking for old structures and researching relics that might be connected to Oak Island. Together with Oak Island theorist Corjan Mall and a few local historians, Rick and Alex Lagina, Doug Crowell, and Peter Fornetti visited a number of ancient sites in Portugal. They were led to 3 distinct locations, each of which displayed mounting proof that Oak Island's history is connected in some way to that of Portugal and the Templars. In Tomar, Portugal, there is a church and Templar fortress called Convento de Cristo. It was built in the 12th century. To start their investigation, the group was brought there. Corjan was particularly intrigued by the aqueduct's drainage system, which he thought had served as inspiration for whoever created the Smith's Cove finger drains. The aqueduct drainage system was what captivated Corjan the most out of all the amazing elements that were packed into this massive structure. This link might have seemed a little tenuous, but Corjan had more details. The original church gate, now faded, bore an engraving of a cross surrounded by 4 dots. The sign found on the HO stone on Oak Island had an engraving that matched this one exactly. The HO stone was a fragment of a rock discovered on Oak Island. The boulder is thought to have formerly indicated the location of a treasure, but an accident in 1921 reportedly destroyed it. The lads also discovered another O-shaped sign with a dot in the middle, which is also depicted on the HO stone during the previous week. The group then traveled to a military history museum in Lisbon. They had replicas of the 2 little cannonballs that had been found on Oak Island, and they intended to use the museum's armory to see if they could match the cannonballs to one of the cannons there. The fact that 2 museum employees immediately confirmed that the 2 cannonballs were of Portuguese origin wasn't a surprise to the boys, because they had already heard from a chemist in a previous episode that the cannonball's composition indicated a Portuguese origin. Alex loaded the cannon with the ball once the guys had discovered the right kind of cannon in order to make sure they had the right kind of weapon. The cannon, which was first used in the 14th or 15th century, was often mounted on a ship's deck. The experts at the museum, however, claimed that the gun could be easily taken out of the ship and brought to an island. Have you already subscribed? Do this right away to learn more exciting updates on fresh discoveries made on Oak Island. Given the ongoing instability on the global stage that has existed ever since the New World was discovered, it should not be shocking that the mysterious Oak Island has come to represent a secret trove of royal treasures. Over time, Oak Island has come to represent a secret hoard of royal treasures. Two of the most convincing responses in this area come from the French and British militaries, both of which are supportive. The British's hostile acts against the French garrison at Fort Louisbourg are the defining element in this interpretation. It's thought that at some point during either of the French and Indian War or the 7 Years' War, the French treasure that had been housed in the bastion during those wars was transferred to the sophisticated vault on Oak Island. Two very different viewpoints can be taken while examining this line of thinking. Some believe that at some time during the 6-week siege in 1758, the French were able to smuggle all of their treasures past the British boats that were invading and deposit them in the fittingly named Money Pit, which was located within Fort Louisbourg. Some individuals think that the British attack on Fort Louisbourg in 1758, which was successful, served as the catalyst for the ultimate building of the Money Pit, which served as a storage facility. This story holds that the British Army was given the order to painstakingly dismantle the devastated French bastion, pillage its treasures, and bury them beneath an island off the coast of Nova Scotia. You won't believe the recent astounding scientific discovery. To learn more, see the video after this one.